beautiful people, and welcome to another episode of Cocoa in the Sun podcast. I am recording this episode on the same weekend I did the last episode, but I'm not going to post it until later in the week. I'm going to start to do my episodes ahead of time instead of the same day, if I can. The thing is with that, I always feel like I'm going to forget or mix up the videos and they'll be out of sequence. But I'm going to trust my organizational skills to my daughter is cooking and it's loud. Um, my organizational skills to keep me on track and trust myself to do it, and that this will allow me to have extra videos set up so I can try to be more consistent. That's the goal. Anyway, so today we are going to continue. I really wanted to finish that introduction because it was so long. I wanted to finish the introduction so we can actually start to get into the book because it's taking us long to even start the book with all these um intros and prefaces and whatnot. Although they're quite interesting, so I can't complain. Anyways, so we stopped off yesterday on the imagination and the space between physical being and spiritual being, and the imagination space being a place where the spirit aspect and the physical aspect could meet to communicate, kind of like the dream space. Okay, the motivation behind Miriam's imagination is obviously more than just her personal desire and love. She loves a being whom she has known in the world of sense perception and in whom she has seen the manifestation of the divine beloved. Through the power of the imaginal, she has spiritualized this being in raising it from its sensory form to its incorruptible image. As with the disciples of Mount Tabor, the confrontation with Yeshua opens her eyes to his essential reality, to the archetype that informs him. Her creative imagination imbues all this with such a powerful presence that she can never leave it nor lose it. Thus, she creates the true beloved, which constantly accompanies her and illumines her. This reality is not any sort of psychological illusion, compensation, nor sublimation. It is an awakening to this intermediate world, an experience and a knowledge in which the Christ is offered as contemplation, as the archetype of synthesis that the soul of desire seeks to embrace. The divine lover is spirit without body. The physical lover is body without spirit. The spiritual lover possesses spirit and body. The apparition that manifests itself to Miriam of Magdala, both inwardly and outwardly, is spirit and body. It is this manifestation that makes Miriam an anthropos, a whole human being, an incarnation that responds to the incarnation of the common logos, informing both body and spirit. Anthropos. Yeah, look up that. What is an anthropos? Hold on, guys. Anthropos meaning. Anthropos is a Greek word that means human or humanity. It is a gender-inclusive term. In the New Testament, anthropos sometimes is translated as man or man. In Gnosticism, anthropos refers to the first human being, also known as Adamus or Ger Adamus. In the original Greek New Testament, anthropos is part of an expression that translates to Son of Man. Hmm. I don't think that's what he means here. Anyway, let us continue. The translation. In addition to the task of imagining the theological, philosophical, and ethical import of this text to early Christianity, we must also recall its historical interest, for it contains precious information about the first Christian communities. Their deliberations and conflicts give us a sad foretaste of the exclusion of the feminine that was later to triumph, and thereby offer us a glimpse of the different modes and practices that inspired these first Christians. Later, Christianity was often reduced to a path of ethical action, although it engaged itself in a positive transformation of the world toward greater justice and integrity. It risked forgetting the transfiguration of this world into a dimension of greater meaning. It overlooked the need to introduce a lightness into the world's density, an imagination that would open it to new possibilities and make it more bearable. The translation of the Gospel of Mary has also to answer to the call of the creative imagination, without which its text might appear as utterly hermetic and perhaps insignificant. The two previous French translations of this text are difficult to read and sometimes contradictory. Yet, this is no reflection of any lack of skill, patience, or courage on the part of those scholars who worked with it. Their considerable labors have provided important references for this translation, which nevertheless is quite different from theirs. My own approach, which may be described as both rigorous and free, is a further development of my earlier work at the University of Strasbourg on the Gospel of Thomas and the Gospel of Truth. In part one, the translation is presented opposite the script of the Coptic text. Even though most readers will not be able to understand the Coptic, I hope that it will inspire examination, thereby stimulating imagination and intuition that can lead to the discovery of personal interpretations, which, though lacking in authority, would make up for this in a deeper feeling for the text. My aim is different from that of the archaeologist or the brilliant decoder of obscure hieroglyphs. I do not seek to provide scholarly libraries with nuggets of obscure meaning hidden in the convolutions of the text. My desire is to offer to as many readers as possible some insight into Christian origins and to come closer to a true understanding of the one known as the Christ. Those words still I know I have a hard time saying this word. Oh my God, the sky is insane right now. Okay. Rev reverberate, reverberate, reverberate in our culture today. If I succeed in this, it is because I'm able to see him through the loving and unassuming eyes of the woman who, according to the Gospels of John, Thomas, and Philip, among others, was his intimate friend. There were three who always walked with the Lord: Mary, his mother, Mary, his sister, and Miriam of Magdala, who was called his companion. For Miriam is his sister, his mother, and his companion. Coptic text and translation. The pagination of the Coptic text and translation follows that of the original transcript. Here, references to pages from the Gospel of Mary always begin with the same page number, followed by the line number of this translation. The numbers in the margins of the Coptic text itself are for convenience only and have no literary significance. They would correspond roughly, but not always exactly, to the line numbers in the translation. Note on the English translation, although Jean-Yves Leloup's French translation is, of course, the basis for this one, the emphasis in producing this has been on clarity and readability in English. In seeking to achieve this, previous Coptic to English translations have been consulted. And now we get to start. Okay. So this is the Coptic. Next to it is the English. All right. So this is how it's going to read. Pages 1 to 6 are missing. So we start on page 7. What is the matter? Will it last forever? The teacher answered. All that is born, all that is created, all the elements of nature are interwoven and united with each other. All that is composed shall be decomposed. Everything returns to its roots. Matter returns to the origins of matter. Those who have ears, let them hear. Peter said to him, since you have become the interpreter of the elements and the events of the world, tell us, what is the sin of the world? The teacher answered, there is no sin. It is you who make sin exist when you act according to the habits of your corrupted nature. This is where sin lies. This is why the good has come into your midst. It acts together with the elements of your nature so as to reunite it with its roots. Then he continued, this is why you become sick and why you die. It is the result of your actions. What you do takes you further away. Those who have ears, let them hear. Page 8. Attachment to matter. Attachment to matter gives rise to passion against nature. Thus, trouble arises in the whole body. This is why I tell you, be in harmony. If you're out of balance, take inspiration from manifestations of your true nature. Those who have ears, let them hear. After saying this, the Blessed One greeted them all, saying, peace be with you. May my peace arise and be fulfilled within you. Be vigilant and allow no one to mislead you by saying, here it is, or there it is, for it is within you that the Son of Man dwells. Go to him, for those who seek him find him. Walk forth and announce the gospel of the kingdom. Page 9. Impose no law other than that which I have witnessed. Do not add more laws to those given in the Torah, lest you become bound by them. Having said all this, he departed. The disciples were in sorrow, shedding many tears and saying, how are we to go among the unbelievers and announce the gospel of the kingdom of the Son of Man? They did not spare his life, so why should they spare ours? Then Mary arose, embraced them all, and began to speak to her brothers. Do not remain in sorrow and doubt, for his grace will guide you and comfort you. Instead, let us praise his greatness, for he has prepared us for this. He is calling upon us to become fully human, anthropos. Thus, Mary turned their hearts toward the good, and they began to discuss the meaning of the teacher's words. 10. Page 10. Peter said to Mary, sister, we know that the teacher loved you differently from other women. Tell us whatever you remember of any words he told you which we have not yet heard. Mary said to them, I will now speak to you of that which has not been given to you to hear. I had a vision of the teacher, and I said to him, Lord, I see you now in this vision. And he answered, you are blessed, for the sight of me does not disturb you. There where is the new lies the treasure. Then I said to him, Lord, when someone meets you in a moment of vision, is it through the soul, the psyche, that they see, or is it through the spirit, the pneuma? The teacher answered, it is neither through the soul nor the spirit, but the nu between the two, which sees the vision, and it is this which, page 11 to 14 are missing. So he said this, it is this which, and then we lost like 4 or 5 pages there. It starts up on 15. And Craving said, I did not see you descend, but now I see you rising. Why do you lie, since you belong to me? The soul answered, I saw you, though you did not see me, nor recognize me. I was with you as with a garment, and you never felt me. Having said this, the soul left rejoicing greatly. Then it entered into the third climate known as ignorance. Craving. Hmm. Hmm. So she said she was with the craving like a garment, like something she can take off, and she could change her clothes basically. Then it entered into the third climate known as ignorance. Ignorance inquired of the soul, where are you going? You are dominated by wicked inclinations. Indeed, you lack discrimination and you are enslaved. The soul answered, why do you judge me since I have made no judgment? I have been dominated, but I myself have not dominated. I have not been recognized, but I myself have recognized that all things which are composed shall be decomposed on earth and in heaven. 16, page 16. Freed from this third climate, the soul continued its ascent. I don't know if I understand that. So ignorance is telling her that she is dominated by wicked inclinations and that she lacks discrimination and is enslaved. And she's telling ignorance not to judge her, that she has not dominated, she was dominated, and that she has not been recognized, but she recognizes that all things that are composed shall be decomposed on earth and in heaven. So then it can't be enslaved? Is that what she's saying? Anyway, if you read it, could you tell me what you think it means? He's going to have some talk about it too after commentary, he said. So, okay, 16. Free from this third climate, the soul continued its ascent and found itself in the fourth climate. This has 7 manifestations. So the fourth climate has 7 manifestations. So we didn't see what the first one is. We know the second one was craving, the third one was ignorance, and the fourth is divided into 7. The first manifestation, the fourth itself is in the fourth climate. This has 7 manifestations. The first manifestation is darkness, the second craving, the third ignorance, the fourth lethal jealousy, the fifth enslavement of the body, the sixth intoxicated wisdom, and the seventh guileful wisdom. Intoxicated wisdom, would that be arrogance? Guileful wisdom, it's like what? Bear with me, guys. I'm learning this along with everybody. Guileful. We're using it for trickery, maybe. Deceptive wisdom. Okay, so let's see. These are the 7 manifestations of wrath, and they oppress the soul with questions. Where do you come from, murderer? And where are you going, vagabond? The soul answered, that which oppressed me has been slain, that which encircled me has vanished. My craving has faded, and I am freed from my ignorance. I left the world with the aid of another world. A design was erased by virtue of a higher design. Henceforth, I travel toward repose, where time rests in the eternity of time. I go now into silence. Having said all this, Mary became silent, for it was in silence that the teacher spoke to her. Then Andrew began to speak and said to his brothers, tell me, what do you think of these things she has been telling us? As for me, I do not believe that the teacher would speak like this. These ideas are too different from those we have known. And Peter added, how is it possible that the teacher talked in this manner with a woman about secrets of which we ourselves are ignorant? Must we change our customs and listen to this woman? Did he really choose her and prefer her to us? I guess it means don't let anything define you or enslave you or decide what you are, because you decide for yourself, maybe. But we'll see what the commentary says, but that's what I think it may mean. Because they were trying to tell her those stages of wrath. They were telling her what she was, and she was telling them what she was not. Then Mary wept and answered him, my brother Peter, what can you be thinking? Do you believe that this is just my own imagination, that I invented this vision? Or do you believe that I would lie about our teacher? At this, Levi spoke up. Peter, you have always been hot-tempered, and now we see you repudiating a woman just as our adversaries do. Yet, if the teacher held her worthy, who are you to reject her? Surely the teacher knew her very well, for he loved her more than us. Therefore, let us atone and become fully human so that the teacher can take root in us. Let us grow as he demanded of us and walk forth to spread the gospel without trying to lay down any rules and laws other than those he witnessed. 19. When Levi had said these words, they all went forth to spread the gospel according to Mary. So that's the end of it. It's not very long, but I think it's pretty potent. I think so. That part when she's talking to the aspects of being that are trying to diminish her. Mhm. Okay, so I think I'm going to stop there for today because that's the reading of the actual text. That's it. And then my next episode, I'll start with the commentary on the breakdown of the text. He really goes into depth with this. So we're going to get some good information here on his thoughts on it. That's the meat of the book is his commentary on it. So let's see. So we'll start that later in the week. Again, I just want to say a happy new year and wishing you all the good that is yours to come to you. Wishing you unconditional love and health and wealth and good connection with self and understanding of self, forgiving of self, so you can free yourself. I'm about to go at the sunset and sit in quiet. Have a very good Sunday and a happy new year, guys. We'll talk. Have a blessed day. Bye.